Hello again, Gary Stearman with another Prophecy in the News update today, Tuesday, June the 8th. Well, JR is recovering today from yet another bout of chemotherapy, and he will be on the mend for the next few days. Remember him in prayer and pray that those markers for his cancer remain at the normal level, which his doctor says that they are right now. As I've said now for quite a while, JR deeply values every one of you as a prayer partner. When you think of his name, send up a prayer to the Lord, asking for his healing. We value him here at Prophecy in the News, I must say, and we want him back. We want him right here in this studio as soon as possible. Well, today the news concerns Turkey, and so I thought I would talk just a little bit about Turkey in Bible prophecy. This report from Israel Today, Turkish Prime Minister Recep Erdogan has led the international campaign to discredit Israel in the aftermath of its seizing of a flotilla of terrorist-backed ships to Gaza. No doubt you've heard all about this. You've seen the film, you have seen the videos, the infrared videos showing what took place on the decks of those ships. You've heard the aftermath of all this. And Turkey is now a heavily Islamized country. I should say that basically for the last few decades, Turkey has been a U.S. ally, has been an ally of Israel, and a very reasonable partner in the Middle East. But their parliament and leadership in general has become heavily Islamized, and they have now taken the side of the enemies of Israel. Erdogan has vowed personally to sail to Gaza and break Israel's maritime blockade of the Hamas-ruled territory of Gaza. This is absolutely amazing that Prime Minister Erdogan would say, I'm going to get aboard a ship and sail over there myself. Whether this is bravado or whether he actually means it is immaterial. What he's doing is raising the stakes in the conflict. And here's the situation. Israel has every right to blockade the shores of Gaza because Gaza has sworn to destroy Israel. Gaza is governed by Hamas, which is ruled a terrorist organization which has designs on ending Israel's existence. Therefore, a blockade is not only rational and reasonable, it's legal under every international territorial treaty you can think of. Lebanese newspaper Al Mustaqbal said that Turkish sources in the know who said that Erdogan is seriously considering joining the next flotilla of ships to Gaza are probably correct. He may also order a squad of Turkish Navy gunships to accompany the next flotilla and give the Israelis a real showdown at sea. In other words, like his friend Ahmadinejad of Iran, Erdogan is now saying, hey, bring it on. We want to fight. Virtually all of Israel's enemies are getting in line. Syria, Iran, now Turkey. Won't be long before Egypt is in the fray. Egypt has been a friend of Israel, but gradually is moving in the direction of radical Islam. Turkey. Where do you find Turkey in Scripture? Well, you can go back to Genesis 10, and you have the genealogy of the family of Japheth, which says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, Tiras. And those names all really kind of sound familiar, don't they? We remember Gomer. We remember Meshech and Tubal from Ezekiel 38. As we read on, the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. Now you read about Togarmah next over in the prophecy of Ezekiel, in which The ancient trading merchants of Phoenicia, called in the Bible Tyre or Tyrus, are mentioned. And they are referred to loosely as the merchants of Tarshish. Tarshish being one of their seaports. The Tyrians, of course, were headquartered in the northeastern corner of the Mediterranean Sea, but they ranged all over the world, going out through the Straits of Gibraltar northward to the British Isles, southward around the Horn of Africa. It is documented that they even sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. So the merchants of Tarshish were very busy traders indeed. And we have this: Tarshish was thy merchant, by reason of the multitude of all kinds of riches, with silver, iron, tin, and lead they traded in thy fairs. Javan, Tubal, Meshech, they were thy merchants, and they traded in the persons of men and vessels of brass in thy market. They of the house of Togarma traded in thy fairs, with horses and horsemen and mules. Now, the house of Togarma, then, was part of the trading system of ancient Tyre, called Phoenicia in the Greek language, and then in English we refer to them as the Phoenician traders. But notice, Togarma was a big part of that trade operation. Togarma was what later came to be called Asia Minor. During the days of the apostles, they traveled across Asia Minor. For example, the Galatia, the 7 churches of Revelation are all in what in this prophecy by Ezekiel is referred to as Togarma. Today we call Asia Minor Turkey. And so we find Turkey mentioned prominently in prophecy all the way back to being mentioned as one of the sons of Japheth, and then by Ezekiel as one of the trading partners of the Tyrians. And then when you come to Ezekiel 38, here's where we know Togarma intimately. When it comes to the invasion of Israel from the north by Gog of the land of Magog, and Ezekiel names the allies of Gog: Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer with all his bands, and the house of Togarma of the north quarters. And there it is. One of the allies in the invasion of Gog, the land of Magog, is going to be the house of Togarma. Well, today the house of Togarma is headed by Recep Erdogan, Prime Minister of Turkey, who has shifted the course of Turkey in recent years from pro-Western to pro-Eastern, and specifically Middle Eastern, and he's busily forming pacts, and we're talking about weapons, treaties, and so forth with the Russians, exactly as prophesied in Scripture by Ezekiel. The house of Togarma, Turkey, Recep Erdogan, as he threatens to send warships to the coast of Israel. Just remember, in the Bible, Turkey is called Togarma. Well, an interesting study. We live in interesting times. Continue to pray for JR. This is Gary Stearman wishing you a great day in the Lord, and we want you to keep looking up, because we do.